Have you ever persuaded anyone to do anything, say anything, like anything? I bet you've probably persuaded your parents to let you go somewhere or do something. So today, what you're going to learn, even though you may already know, is about persuasive writing, persuasive papers. You should have a handout. So if you just want to follow along, all I'm going to do is read through it, add a little here and there, and then you're on your own. So in persuasive writing, we know that a writer is going to take a position either for something or against something, usually a controversial issue or topic, and then they're going to write to convince the reader to believe or to do something. So a persuasive essay seeks to convince its readers to embrace the point of view that you're presenting by appealing to the audience's reason or understanding through argument or entreaty. And you may or may not have already gone through the three main rhetorical appeals, which would be ethos, pathos, and logos. Where else have you encountered persuasive speaking, writing, anything along those lines? I bet you have some good ideas, but I can't hear them. I'm thinking you probably said something like commercials, advertisements, probably junk email, junk mail. For sure, YouTube ads, those are really frustrating, but they're also effective because they keep using them and keep putting them out. And maybe brochures that you're getting from colleges or schools if you're upper level. You can likely think of some other persuasive contexts, but right now we're just going to keep going. In your handout, I have linked a video to Shmoop, which is pretty fun. It's just kind of telling you an easy breezy way of how to write an argumentative essay. When we say argumentative, that's just another name for persuasive. So through persuasive writing, it's often used in advertisements, typically to get a reader or a listener or a viewer to buy a product. It's also used in essays and other types of writings, mainly to get a point of view across and to bring others into the point of view that you believe. In order to convince a reader, you, in this case, science class, need to have more than just your opinion. Because anyone can have an opinion, but it's baseless if it doesn't have facts and reason and credibility. So you're obviously going to have to do some thorough research. You'll need to conduct research that includes facts, statistics, evidence, examples, everything to support and back your opinion so that it convinces the readers in a solid, ethical way. You're going to need to conduct research probably through either Google Scholar or the state library's databases. If you have the handout and if it's electronically provided to you, you can just click on those hyperlinks. Because you're expected to do the research, don't forget that you need to have works cited page and you need to properly parenthetically cite any quoted material or summarized material or paraphrased material within your actual persuasive essay. If you need any help with that, obviously you can check with Mrs. Quinn or you could check with me. You do, through Clever, you have the EasyBib link, and through EasyBib you can easily just put in the URL and other basic information, and it will generate your citation for you if you don't have time to visit with the experts like Mrs. Quinn and I. Just moving on, you should already be familiar with MLA formats, so it should be, whether you're working on your rough draft, your outline, or your final type, it should be in MLA format. That means Times New Roman, size 12, double spaced, 1-inch margins all around. You should have a header with a page number that's successive. You should have a heading that's your name, teacher name, class period, and then the date. Don't forget your title, which is clever, which should be catchy, which should be sort of like your attention getter because you want people to continue reading. I said, luckily, you should already be familiar with MLA format because, well, English class. Then your actual format of the paper, as you know, should have an introduction with an AGD, some background information, a thesis statement. What is a thesis statement again? Nailed it. It's that one singular sentence as the last sentence of the intro that provides the context to the rest of your paper. So all readers have to do is read that one sentence to know what your persuasive essay is going to persuade them. Let's see, after writing your essay, like any piece of writing, you should proofread it, you should revise it, you should conference with peers, with Mrs. Basons, with Mrs. Quinn, with myself, and someone to go through to make sure any revisions are edited before you actually publish your final product. Don't forget that your instructor probably has a rubric or a checklist for you to follow. I do believe on the back of this packet, I just have my mini quick list. I put 4 because maybe you just want to use all of them at different times, or maybe you want to share with a peer. I don't know. Have fun with it. So what exactly are the steps to proper persuasion? Well, you should know your audience. So if you're working on a persuasive essay for science, you probably already have established which topic you're going with. And then who are you presenting this to? Just your class, the student body, simply your instructor? You have to know your audience in order to be prepared for anything that will come up. So your supporting evidence, statistics, and facts need to be credible enough, but also getting to the audience in a way that they care, they understand. 3, you should know and prepare for various sides of your issues. So be prepared for counter arguments or anyone who may oppose what you're saying or anyone who may oppose with actual information to support their side. So you just respectfully will have to insert that counter argument in there so that you acknowledge it, so you're not just being fully one-sided and ignorant of everything else that exists, because we're persuading them. So we want them to know we get it, we have the full picture, but this is why my perspective is much more important or much more credible or much more vital to cells. Moving on to number 4, as I said, you should respectfully acknowledge the other points of view, respectfully. So that's all in word choice. Number 5, find common ground with your audience, which all fits into step 3, step 4, step 5, and then step 6 says establish your credibility. So this is where making sure you're finding credible, valid sites and sources through the databases or Google Scholar to provide you with solid evidence, ethical evidence, moral evidence. And then you're properly incorporating that into your persuasive essay, because what's going to persuade me? Properly cited quotes, facts, statistics that are from science-related sources who know what they're doing. We're going on to steps to help write a persuasive essay, pretty much the same as the previous 6. You're carefully selecting your topic. Make sure you identify the controversy, because that's the point of persuading. There has to be some type of controversy to get these people, these listeners, to your point of view. 3, conduct thorough, credible research, which at some point you're going to do that. 4, provide support and evidence in your essay. 5, organize your thoughts and information. That's an outline. Or you could do a graphic organizer. I think in this handout, I simply had an outline because sometimes it's just easier as an outline, but maybe your instructor will allow you to do a graphic organizer. 6, consider differing opinions or points of view, very important. Number 7, provide a forceful conclusion. Remember that last part of your essay is really going to reinforce all of your thesis, your main points, and then it's going to drive home with the last line something really important that's going to keep the reader thinking about it and hopefully persuade them. I have provided the basic outline on the second page, Emily format. You obviously can have more than this, but this is just a template. If you flip to the next page, this is a final typed example that I had snagged from a previous student, so it may not be that great, but obviously it was good enough to put as an example. And then they included their works cited page. Remember, your works cited page has to be in alphabetical order. So you're putting the first word of each citation in alphabetical order. You do have a lot of solid resources online. So if you needed help with your persuasive essay in some way, shape, form, I'm sure YouTube could help you. I can help you. Just seek me out. If you have any other questions, definitely talk to Mrs. Basons, but know that Mrs. Quinn and I am here for you. So happy persuading.